tonight to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Austin.
Oi, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinin.
You mean shining?
Shh, you wanna get sued?
Judgment, Austin.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a-running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, Bob. I love it when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative, and it's so good to see all of you guys today. Thank you for being here, and I saw a lot of people coming in, so thank you. Happy Friday. And that was hold on one second, I think there might be an echo. Okay, that's probably better. Oh, let's see. I probably know what it is. There we go. Okay. Oh, please. All right, there we go. I think that's better, guys. Tell me if you get an echo or not. But I saw John Emery. Good to see you. And Wild Wolf. Hey, Jude. Thank you for being a member for 8 months. You're definitely an OG. Love having you here. Thank you so much. And I saw Daisy Duke. Thank you for hitting the like, Daisy Duke and Valley Girl. And also, I see Pebbles. Good to see you, Pebbles. Happy Friday, Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. Oh man, it has been a weird Friday. I couldn't get my hair to dry for nothing, so I'm sitting here trying to air dry my hair, which is really curly. I don't have a whole lot of hair, but once it starts drying and it's humid, it's like forget about it. Good to see you, Lori and Paige. Thank you for hitting the like button, you guys. I really appreciate you. And also Linda Nunley, good to see you. And I also saw Holly S. Good to see you guys. Good to see everyone. Daisy Duke, hello, and Narita. Cinderelli's back. I'm so sorry, Cinderelli. Oh my gosh. Guys, I blocked Cinderelli. I put someone in timeout wrongfully last night. I've been left and right accusing people of bad things. And Brock, no, honestly, Cinderelli, I think I just hit the wrong button on my phone. Happy Friday, Chow. Thank you for being here. Cinderella. Hey, Jude, I deserve the timeout. I'm telling on myself today. Hey, Lil Red. I'm so sorry, Lil Red. I was in Jen's chat, guys. Stephanie, good afternoon. And Busy Mama, good afternoon. Oh, good. No echo. It must just be on my end. I swear, I put the headphones in. I don't have an echo. I put them out. I don't know how to set this sound up properly. At this point, I don't even know if my mic is working correctly. Hey, Elaine. Good to see you, GGF2. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, guys. I'm so glad to have all you guys. Lil Red, I'm so bad. See, I'm naughty, you guys. I deserve the timeout chair today. Hey, Cece. Good to see you. Oh, be careful. And, traffic is the worst. Traffic is the worst. Well, Red, I didn't even do my nails today. I still have like my regular old nails. And it's funny because I dyed my hair, so some of them have like purple, a little bit of purple spots on it from the dye. I'm like, oh, I'm a hot mess. But hey, Shadow, good to see you. I think I said hi to Shadow. So nice to have all of you guys here today. And Seth was out today for the last day. I know there was a lot of people. Shout out to Mackenzie. I saw Mackenzie in the chat. Very awesome to see Mackenzie in the chat and knowing that she went to support Sebastian. And we need to help bring Sebastian home. He doesn't deserve to be out there somewhere, guys. I know he's out there somewhere. I was saying certainties. I know he was out there somewhere, or I know he's out there somewhere. And I don't believe he left on his own. So those are the two things that I've kind of come up with that I can feel comfortable with. But, still, I just don't know. I just don't know. Thank you. Hey, Jude. I was getting raggedy, guys. That's why I was like hair in a bun. You saw just Lady Freedom avatar for a couple days because it was bad. It was really bad. Every time I dye my hair, I think that it turns it gray or something because those things just pop up. Those roots, they just pop right up. Yeah, Cinderella, I was just watching highlights of Nebraska on slow-mo. Lady Freedom sounds funny. Oh, yeah, it's so funny because, we were looking, that's what kept me a little bit longer, too, Lil Red, also because of Jen talking about the big engagement between Travis Kelce, and also Taylor Swift. And so I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. Really love her. She's awesome. And he's cute. So I thought that was interesting. Plus, there was some things in transit Jen was talking about, and I just find it really, really interesting. Thank you, Cinderella. Oh my gosh. Like I said, my eyes just went popping out of my head. What the heck happened? And I'm like, I know that was me. Oh, coffee. Live on coffee. I live on coffee. And, I was thinking about which day I was going to take off to this week because I do need to get a video out. I want to do a video and get that out to you guys. So I think I'll take off tomorrow night. I usually do Sundays, but I really liked our monster mashup Monday, and we can go over all of the true crime, kind of monstrous things going on. There's a lot. I heard in the Travis Decker case, speaking of our little weirdo Travis Decker, he is out there still at large, but they did find some bones in and around the area where he could have been. And so I found that to be really interesting. Wanted to share that with you all. So pretty interesting stuff there. I hope they find him. I'm thinking he might be deceased. I mean, that's probably my best guess if I could take one. So it very interesting live about the chart, Lil Redo. I still don't know how Jen does it, but she does it, and I really enjoy listening to her. And then Miss Ann was on panel, and then I also heard from Diane. Diane came up on panel, so that was really nice. I want to do an open panel show too, but I'm so nervous. But Jen's went really smoothly. So I was like, but then again, I do a night show sometimes, so I'm like, I don't know what kind of people I'll get at night, but it does sound fun. So, okay, yeah, Brown Eyes Girl. All right, Daisy Duke. I like Daisy Duke. That one is so cute. I love that name. It makes a lot of sense, right, Paige? Yeah, it does. It does. And I mean, at this point, we just kind of need to piece it all together. Like I said, I'm kind of working on a panel to have people up with me, and I got some yeses on the panel, so I just have to try to schedule it out. And then we have a couple of cold cases that I wanted to talk about as well. Jen was sharing one with me last night, so I would love to get into some of that stuff. But we're always going to be Sebastian Strong. We're Sebastian's army here. And, there's so much always to talk about Sebastian, especially because there's so many unknowns, And so, well, great, Lori. I'm glad you got some rain, and Little Red, too, finally get some rain. It does cool things off. It was so hot. My bathroom has 2 skylights in it, so it's like when I'm in there doing my makeup, I'm like sweating everything off, like I'm melting as I'm putting it on. I'm like, oh, this is really effective. But I finally got a chance to get some of that stuff done. Oh, I am echoing a little bit. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I could hear it on my end. Let me turn my computer sound down. I wonder if you're hearing like a feedback from that. Possibly. Is that a little bit better? Thank you, Busy Mama. Yes. Hey, Bliss Blessings. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so we're just going to kind of talk about some true crime goings on today. I want to do a live later about Pigfest, right? Oink, oink, Pigfest. Because we've all been kind of talking about it on the streets, and I think it's something interesting. I wanted to get a little bit more information. Well, it was so nice of Blue Eyes to come in the other day and share, Blue Eyes Jules to come in and share what, she had experienced. Because, when we're writing out these letters, we don't know what we're going to get back, right? We might get a generic response. We might get, we're aware of it. Thank you for letting us know, and that sort of thing. And so, why am I like right on top of Sebastian? Thank you. Okay, there we go. I'm like, why am I right on top of Sebastian's beautiful face? Okay, so that's way better. And sorry, guys, you could probably see like my mountains of notebooks that I have ready to fill up in the back here. So I apologize for that angle there. But I mean, it's just been a full week of true crime. I've really enjoyed discussing the cases with you. Emmanuel Haro is still out there, guys. And my heart breaks for that beautiful little baby. I really hope that he's found soon. I don't know what to think, right? I watched something earlier. Matt Thibodeau put out some information about beautiful baby Emmanuel. And I'm like, where is this baby? What have they done? They keep changing the story. The mom's not talking. I thought California had a lot more advocacy for domestic violence survivors, victims, warriors. Hey, Mima, let's all do a live and figure out. However, some may be there and won't want to know. Yeah, that's what I'm wanting to do, Mima. I really want to come up with some ideas, and I'm thinking Jude's working on it with me too. I'm thinking I might just sit and talk with the panelists and have some questions, lined up. I want it to be kind of structured. Um, and then that way, I can get their feedback, because the panelists that I've asked to come up, I really respect their opinions, their thoughts, their perspective, their research, right? And I think we can all bring something different to the table. We all look at and perceive information differently. So, a lot of us will base it on past experiences. A lot of it will base it on, technical knowledge or education that we have. So we all can bring something different. And it's funny how different skills apply to different aspects, even in true crime, even if we weren't, a detective, but just having those critical thinking skills are really important. And so I'm, so excited. I'm not going to disclose who I've asked up yet. I want it to be a surprise, and I'm really excited if you guys can't tell. But I'm definitely wanting it to be very informative, fun, interesting, and who knows, we might come up with something interesting. Something might be sparked in the chat. That is what's always great about doing live shows and panels, that you don't get to have that feeling when you're doing just videos, right? Or if I was just coming up here talking at you guys, not reading the chat. So I really enjoy it, even though I know it takes me a little while and I get behind. But we usually have some really great conversations sparked by a lot of you guys too. So I have a feeling that his body won't be found. They have no idea what date this really happened. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem too, Little Red. I agree, because they're saying 8 or 9 days ago that it happened. And so I'm very curious to figure out, what has happened here. Kiki was also talking earlier on her live about the school shooter, right? Like, he has an entire manifesto. It seems to be hate driven, right? Like, doesn't like certain minorities, doesn't like certain religions, right? Very disenfranchised youth of a person. Very, very sad story. Again, it just was so sad. So that popped off during the week. This manifesto was said to be scheduled to be on YouTube. I'd be interested to see some of the content that was being pushed out. And, I do think that YouTube has to do better about some of the hate content. It's one thing to say something that's unpopular, or maybe just have an opinion that isn't, what everybody wants to hear. It's completely different when there's these hate manifestos that's like, oh, we're going to schedule this for, 5 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to go do some harm at a school. At Mass, Catholic Mass. It's just sad. But that's what I'm guessing with that crime there, is that it's basically a disenfranchised person who really could have probably used, someone to help and guide them. And they probably didn't have that, and then here they are taking it out on, society. What's really going on with that Pigfest, Pebble says, seen something about it on Crime Time Buzz. It's my understanding, and, I want to go over it just a little bit more later. It's my understanding that Pigfest is this sort of 3-day event where there's vendor booths and auctions and all kinds of different people out there, maybe selling things. I need to figure it out a little bit more. I haven't done a whole lot of research on it. I've been more so focused on the emails, the correspondence. One of Lolly Beautifully Broken is a creator here on YouTube, and she covers Sebastian's case. I've seen her cover other cases as well, but she's definitely covering Sebastian's case. With the gusto that all of us have, right? Just really want to find him. Well, it's my understanding that one of her mods was working on trying to get a booth out at Pigfest in order to hand out flyers of Sebastian, spread awareness. I mean, it's a big community event. There's a lot of people who sponsor it locally, and then also there's people, it appears, that also sponsor it from the Bower Sox Proud Feet, because they're the ones that are needing to give permission to have the booth. And of course, it appears they don't want the booth. So, I mean, so there was some correspondence back and forth, and they named a few people that needed to give approval. Kathy and Terry Bower Sox, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, and then the sheriff himself, Mr. Snuggle Struggle himself, was also named as someone who needed to give permission. Well, Eric Craddock says that he doesn't have anything to do with that, but that's it's the Parks and Recreations Board head that has given this information out and told this other person that there needs to be permission, right? It's very disheartening. It's very frustrating. And then it's something that is very, I don't know. It's like I wasn't surprised or shocked though. When I was watching it, I'm like, really? But then I'm like, but we kind of knew this, this is something that we've been talking about for quite a while. And it's disappointing. It's something that I don't want to be right about. I would rather not be. I would rather somebody say, well, you got that wrong, Lady Freedom. And, Eric Craddock's a great guy. And, I would rather be wrong. Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. But it appears that we've been on the right track. I'm just going to say that. We've been on the right track. So, my thing is that if somebody is a paying customer of Pigfest, right? If we decide I would like to buy a ticket and I would like to go and experience Pigfest, right? If I wear a Sebastian Rogers t-shirt, right, with information on the front, information on the back, is someone gonna? I mean, you can't get arrested for that, right? That's, for one, that's freedom of speech. It's not obscene, right? I bring up my Johnny Cash flipping the bird t-shirt, right? I do have a t-shirt where Johnny Cash is flipping the bird, right? It's like a very famous photo of Johnny. I have that on a t-shirt. I don't wear it out. I wear it around the house because I know it's offensive. But that's the only thing I would think of, that somebody might come up and say, do you think that shirt's appropriate for this event with, kids and families? But having a young man who's been missing for 18 months on a t-shirt is not only freedom of speech, but it's something that I think is a wonderful way to spread awareness. I talked about Momming It Up having put Sebastian's flyer on a tote, right? So then when she's shopping or, whatever, and somebody would ask, well, who is that? People would ask that about who's on your shirt. People ask that about when I had my little envoy and I had Sebastian's flyer on the back. You could see it, and people would say, oh, who is that? And I'd say, that's Sebastian Rogers. He's been missing, right? So people definitely ask about it. People are interested. Look, when I passed out flyers, I went to a farmer's market, right? I only had one person say no. And then all of a sudden, they had like a little rack of clothes out. They were selling these little dresses, and the wind blew it over. And so I started helping them pick up the clothes and stuff. And the guy's girlfriend, because the guy was like, no, I don't, and I'm just like, oh, haha, really? Here, just take one, like, oh, I don't really care if you don't want it, but here. And like, I was like pushing him to take it, right? And he did not want it. He was like, get out of here, lady. You're making me depressed and you're cramping my style, right? And I'm like, but really, take it. He's missing. But honestly, that's what happened. When took the clothes rack, we started picking him up, and then his girlfriend was like, well, I live up by Rolla, and we start having a conversation, and she's like, I'll take a flyer. So I really got every single person to take one that I offered one. Some people looked at me like, this is a fun event. You're kind of cramping the style, right? But it doesn't matter. They still were happy to take it. Some people were so interested that they kept me there talking with them, asking me more questions about the case, asking me, how do they find out more information? How did that happen? How did he just go missing in the middle of the night? When I brought up the trash truck at 3 a.m., the guy literally, and it's still on my page, guys, go check it out. He absolutely says, that was not no trash truck. He said, that is not no trash truck, exact words. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm just telling him the story as we know it, right? And so, and he was one I talked to for a while. Hey, Eric, he's one that I talked to for a while, So thank you so much, John, for prayers for Emmanuel Haro. Yes, please. Poor little baby. He's so sweet. So sweet. But yeah, and the point is that people do care, and people do want to be aware of these things if they're not already. The saddest thing is that not everybody watches YouTube, not everybody watches the news. So we're going to have people that have no idea that Sebastian's missing at all. Even in the town of Hendersonville, even some of the people that might come from Clarksville or surrounding areas. So lots of barbecue at Pigfest. See, I love barbecue. Hey, Jude, I love it. I would pay a $20 ticket to eat barbecue, and that's what we would have in Springfield. They'd have Wingapalooza, right, where you pay to go in there and eat like hot wings, we had rockin' ribs. I like rockin' ribs, so I think I'd like Pigfest. But I really would like to go there now to wear the t-shirts, because I feel like an injustice is being done. I feel like it's discrimination, right? In a way, I do. I feel like they're saying, well, we don't want your stinking booth. And I think to myself, well, I don't need no stinking booth. I'll wear a damn shirt and see what you do then. What are you going to do? Sorry to cramp your barbecue fest. But it just, makes me want to right that wrong if I can. Hey, Kiki, good to see you. Oh, good. Have a good nap. I know I was supposed to be on a lot earlier, guys, but then it all kind of, and I really want to go over and support other channels too. So I kind of try to make mine whenever I can. Today I had a more open schedule than I usually do. But I've been trying to, the day shows are going to be like, some of them are going to be at like early morning at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Some of them are going to be a little bit later in the afternoon, early evening. Like this one was scheduled for 3:45, and I kept bumping it up. But I just love having the two shows. It's been fun, hectic but fun. Also, there's just so much that goes on all the time, So I do want to work on more. I want to work on kind of having more of a steady flow, but also maybe do a couple hours here, come off and do a couple more hours, so they're not all kind of jumbled into one subject, into multiple subjects, like they're kind of broken up. So we're going to work on that too, but I've been really enjoying the journey with you guys. It's been a really great. and then meeting all of these wonderful people. Gina says, I don't believe that one bit. It's not a family that can decide it's a city of Hendersonville. Yeah, Gina, it's just crazy, right? Like, the city puts it on, but the parks and recreations, like committees and things, are the ones that typically like hand out the permits and that sort of thing, because typically if you're going to have a large event, you have to have a permit from the city. And I mean, Little Red, I was wondering that as well. I really was. Little Red says no one spoke about talking to the city manager. There's got to be someone higher up in the in Parks and Rec, in my opinion. There's got to be someone that's a little bit higher up that can kind of help with that. So that's a really good suggestion. Maybe someone already has a booth that we just don't know who. Oh yeah. That thought did cross my mind too, Little Red, because like typically Bill will do. Hold on, guys. I think I noticed it's got a little bit dark over here. Is this gonna be too light? That's a little bit too light. Is that better? No. I probably should have put another light on. That was a little bit better, I think. I don't know. Hopefully, I want you guys to be able to see. I don't want to blind myself though. I just realized I kind of cut the lights, and the other big bright one is kind of too bright during the day, so I'm trying to work on the lighting situation. Oh, that's too light. There's several on my holder here that does. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, sorry guys. Contact Don Schmidt, the county commissioner. Okay, Gina. Don Schmidt. Whoop, get that down. Okay, that's the other. Yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, they were saying that like they were going to lunch with the P in the Sox, and that they needed to get permission. People need to get permission from them and the sheriff. But yeah, I would think it's because it's city run. Like whatever it is with city run, they should be able to at least do something. But if there was another booth, like Little Red was saying, then like for example, if I'm selling jams and jellies, and then 10 other people try to come over and sell jams and jellies, they don't want to have just jams and jelly vendors, right? They want to they want more of a variety. And so in that regard, then maybe that's why they would deny it, but they didn't give that as a reason. See, that's what gets me, Little Red, is they didn't give that as a reason. They gave it that there needs to be permission from the fee and the Sox, and unfortunately, why would you need permission to put Sebastian's flyer up, right? I'm sorry, I know it's probably hard to see, right? We're not going to stop until you're found. That's what I put on mine, and then also I put my logo, so people can find Sebastian and follow his story, as I see it, right? My opinion. Oh, geez. I had it really perfect, and now there we go. I opened the little box again, and okay. So either way, it's a missing kid. It's just a missing kid. Why are we giving him hell? Given these kind people, these are kind of people that really wanted to help, right? And they wanted to get Sebastian's name out there. Why not let them? What is the issue? Like what? Again, and then even when it comes to Seth sitting outside the sheriff's department, is it going to kill you to say hello to the man? Is it okay? Is it going to kill you to acknowledge him? To say I'm praying for you? Something kind. I just don't understand it. Stephanie Williams, thank you for being here. In my opinion, this is BS. To have this much trouble for a loving parent begging, pleading for any help to find his missing son. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. If I could drive to Tennessee, or Hendersonville, Tennessee, I would. Yeah, I know you would. I know that, Stephanie. We actually talked a lot about this this week. Another thing that was disappointing. People seem to be scared to come out there, guys. That's allegedly, in my opinion, from what I've witnessed. I also witnessed a sleepy little sheriff's office that decides to leave the minute that Seth arrives. Again, inappropriate. So, Cece sounds like an appropriate name for that family. Pigfest. Little Miss Sharon had me cracking up last night. She's going oink, oink, oink with a little pig emoji. It was cute. Sharon Marlowe, good to see you. It's not good for home sales or other businesses if you have a poof case in their backyard. It's all about the money, in my opinion. Yes, Sharon Marlowe, I agree with that. And it doesn't look good. And there's a lot of people that don't want to move there. And then there was a lot of people that were wanting to move and were having trouble selling because it is something that, people perceive to be unsafe. And really, if the sheriff is acting the way that the sheriff does, I wouldn't want to live in that town either. As cute as it as cute as it seems, as low crime, that's a good thing, right? But I wouldn't want to deal with that man. I wouldn't. No. No, thank you. Gina says this year's charity they are supporting is Christmas for Kids and Live Love Nashville, and the Proud Feet have no say. People, come on now. I know. Well, see, and it's Gina, that I think that's the part that's unbelievable to me, right? Is that they would have that much pool. Like, how much are they sponsoring? How much are they putting in? Are they sponsoring it? Because they weren't listed as a sponsor. It wasn't like Second Generation Homes or, I don't know what her realty team or firm or whatever is called. But just let's say her realty was called Complete Realty or something like that. Sponsored by Second Generation and Complete Realty. I would be like, oh, okay, well, they're sponsors, right? But even so, I mean, Katie's the one that said she doesn't want Sebastian's name to fall to the bottom of a feed. Katie's the one that said that she wants people to pass out flyers. Katie's the one that said that, So why would she care, or why would she not want a booth there? Gina says they're also supporting Grace Place, which is a women's kids shelter, and Mary's Magical Place, a playground for special needs kids. I've heard of Mary's Magical Place. I've heard of that one. I have. Interesting. Yeah, and they should be fully supporting that, they really should. So why won't they put a tent up for Sebastian, or I'm sorry, a booth? I'm just picturing like a farmer's market with the tents, guys. But yeah, it would be like a booth, right? Or a table. There is one home finally for sale in Victoria Place. Oh, really? Huh. I wonder which one, because you could always go and look it up online. Yes, Pigfest benefits good causes. It does. Hey, Jude, that's good to hear. Yeah, and I haven't had a chance to do the kind of research I would like to on Pigfest itself. Like, what is it? What does it all entail? Because typically those events are community events that do help out, different causes, different people in the community. Come on up to Tennessee for barbecue, busy mama. I bet you guys have really good barbecue. I didn't get to stop for food or anything there, but I bet you the barbecue is top notch. Whoever she talked to was blowing smoke, in my opinion. I want to look up that guy too. I have the screenshot. Somebody had sent me the screenshots and I sent them over to Jen, and then I actually went and, looked at the live. And I came in late to Jen's live today because, like I said, I'm like, cutting color in my hair, and then I'm like trying to wash it out, and then I'm listening to Jen. She's like, "You want to come up on panel, anyone?" She had an open panel, and I'm like, I got like hair dye in my hair, and I'm like, or I would have. So, but I need to go back and listen again as well to that. That's why I was like, but I like talking with you guys because you guys are knowledgeable about it. We can kind of discuss some of it. I just want you guys to know I'm not as versed as I should be in it. It would be funny if a whole group showed up wearing the t-shirts hanging around the in the middle. I know. Well, Red, heck yeah. Why not though? Like, it's not hurting anybody. It's not like we're gonna yell at people like, "Oh, you're not finding him." No, but I mean, if you're not gonna let us put a booth up over there, it kind of makes me want to go over there with some shirts. Sebastian deserves awareness. Sebastian deserves to be found. And what better time to do it for people? Look, not everybody watches the news at night. Not everybody watches the local news. Some people get really stressed out by the news and they don't want to hear it. They'll turn it off. They're supporting lots of causes, just not missing kids. Bad for business. Sharon Marlowe, I agree that is a valid reason why they wouldn't want to do that, right? Because it is something that, sometimes people don't want to hear about it. Which is unfortunate because these kids deserve to be found. Every single one of them. Summer Wells too. Summer Wells too. Little Red says, I decided to do mine pre-recorded. It's geared towards new creators on YouTube. Yeah, I want to go watch that, Little Red. And the thing is too, I haven't figured out, but I think I do better. Also, if I make videos and post the videos too, so I need to get better about posting more videos, and I like adding the lives is good too. Yes, I will, Mimi Ma. I need to connect with you on maybe Facebook or something because I don't know why I'm not getting your emails. Hey, Deanna, good to see you. Yeah, but we need to show up for Sebastian, we do. We need to be there. Usually the sheriff's office gives out those type of things at the festival. Yeah, I mean, that would be a good thing, right? Or wristbands for Sebastian. Those are a good way to get those passed out as well. How can anyone human be so blatant to come out and say this? Shame on anyone in Sumner County that is supporting this. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for all of the different community events and things like that. I think it's super important to be a part of that in the community and get to know everybody and that sort of thing. But to deny a booth for Sebastian, that is really sad. That couldn't have been that could have been one hateful smartass who answered the phone. Yeah, you have to go higher and higher. Yeah, I agree with that, Lil Red. I do. Didn't Craddock say we could do it? It just has to be the official TBI flyer. Yeah, he's okay. So thank you, Gina. He did say something to the effect in the email, right? He said that if you're going to pass out flyers, and don't directly, say this as a quote from him because I'm not directly quoting him, but he said something to the effect of, if you're going to hand out flyers, hand out this particular flyer. And it was the one, it was like the original TBI flyer. Not the one with the $50,000 reward on it. From the FBI. That's the newer flyer. And then Seth has an even newer one. Right? That has all 4 pictures of Sebastian. So, I'm going to mess this up again, but that's okay. But, so up here, where there's just the 2 pictures, he's got one, right here, 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 and here, right? All across here. And then it also has, a green banner. It says missing. It also has the $50,000 reward on it. Because this one, yeah, this one does too. I wanted to make sure. I was like, let me just make sure. And I mean, it has all the information on it, right? All of this. it's not the most up to date one, because remember, guys, when they came out with this one up here, right, and they changed this detail. That was like around the year mark or so, right? Last seen on February 25th in the area of Stafford Court. Although the last time we saw him was in the area of the Texas Roadhouse, you know. So, but Eric Craddock, he could say all what he wants, you know, and it seemed to me that he was asking, kindly pass these flyers out. No, I'm going to kindly pass the ones I want out. If I'm passing out a flyer, if I'm paying to print out flyers, you best believe I'm going to be putting out what I want to put out. If you want to provide the flyers, I'll pass every single one of your flyers out, Craddock. But I'm going to put up my own flyers too. I'll be passing out my own flyers. Those are the ones that his father wants to put up, because I don't seek approval from people who aren't looking for Sebastian. Really, I don't. Pisses me off. Gina says Platinum Realty is hers. Okay. She's not a managing broker. She's just an agent, in my opinion. Okay. Oh, great. So, yeah, she's on a team. I mean, that's what I did. I was always on a team. I'm a Keller Williams agent, though. That's where I hung my license the whole time. That's where I got my license. So I'm a Keller Williams agent all the way. And I would never work for a different firm. I just wouldn't. They're the very best. In education, I mean, I got free education, guys, not for my licensing. Now that was expensive. But yeah, I mean, they always have classes. So if you're ever going to go to real estate school, I recommend Keller Williams. Busy Mama says, I've seen 4 pictures up today with Sebastian's picture just today. We need more. Yeah, we do. We do need more. And we need to, be sharing his flyer out all the time. I mean, he's so cute, guys. The minute people looked at his flyer, I passed these ones out. And the minute that they looked at him, their whole demeanor changed, right? Because I'm like, hey, this kid's missing. When they looked at Sebastian and they saw his smile, their heart melted. Trust me. Every single one of them, except for that one guy. But I helped him pick up the dresses, so he had to do something for me. But his girlfriend was interested. Narita says she asked to be outside the entrance gate. Oh, not inside. Oh, okay. That's just the BS. Oh, okay. So I thought there was a booth asked for. I thought it was a booth. I mean, I could see maybe why they wouldn't want us standing exactly outside of the deal, because I heard that they closed down like all of the vendors, like said that they don't have any more room for vendor booths, if that makes sense. So interesting. Hey, Chuchi, good to see you. I have no idea for this FBI, or excuse me, I have no idea for this FBI bees. If I lived closer, I would be walking billboard for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I would wear his flyer in front of my shirt and on the back. Yeah, thank you, Chuchi. I know. I just don't understand why people are more interested in wanting to find him. Like, I don't understand that at all. Oh, looks like it. I guess I just burned that battery out. Jeez, that wasn't a very good battery. I don't really use that ever. I lost my light, but I think the light is shining from the new direction. Either way. Deanna says it would be great if a bunch of us go. I would be flying from Florida. Oh my gosh, Deanna, that's cool. If I go, I'm just going to drive. I mean, just because, well, I'm not a very good flyer. I would just drive. I wouldn't care, though. I like road trips. I don't mind driving. It's a straight shot, too. It's like all highway from where I'm at to that area. I directly passed right by Clarksville and the big rest area that they have there. What a bunch of Mima, those people are assholes. Asshole mios. No, you know what? I don't give them a whole lot of. I haven't watched one single one of them, any of them. I haven't, because I've been so busy, and I'm grateful for it, Mima, because I know, and I'm sorry to hear that. Ugh. Like, anybody that does that is super heartless. Why don't you make fun of the parents that say "hola" and punch in the face? You know? Why not make fun of those ones? You know? Pigfest does not support child abusers, so there's that. Gina, yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't think so either. I bet you the people that go there are good people, and that's what upsets me about the whole thing in Tennessee, because I've met so many nice people from Tennessee, guys. I mean, good people, and it bothers me for them. Like, I don't, you know, and it's beautiful there too. Like, when I went through there, was in the fall time last year around this time. Well, it was like right before Thanksgiving. I moved down here, and we drove a big Penske truck with Sebastian's flyer on the back, and it's a beautiful place. I just really wish there wasn't this big opposition, and I feel like it does come from the feet in the socks, you know. Anytime y'all want to swing by and get me, LOL, I'm disabled and can only drive short distances, but we'll go. Oh, God bless Seth Rogers. Yes. Yeah, I mean, Seth is just trying to do everything he can to spread awareness. I think what he's doing is very courageous, and I think what he's doing is super important for bringing awareness to Sebastian. I would do the same thing. I would show them, like, I know that you might have forgotten, but I haven't. No, I'm not saying that they did forget. Cece says the point is that it appears that it has to be approved by Socks and Feet. Who the hell are they to get to decide? Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with it, you know. Okay, Lori, thank you for being here. Yeah, sorry, Chuchi, I get a little bit backed up in the chat. But no, I mean, that was kind of my exact response when I first saw the email. I was like, what the heck? And, you know, and then Craddock's like, oh, that's not up to me. And I'm like, oh, boy. You know, and then I'm thinking, okay, well, how would they know to ask Chris and Katie? Like, that was weird that Parks and Recreation, I mean, it almost seems like he was stirring the pot or something. A lot of honesty, which, I mean, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying. Busy Mama, I'm so sorry I missed you guys. I came by around 1:15. It was very quiet. Oh, Valley Gal, I'm so glad you made it over there. Thank you for going. Aw. We left around 11:30 due to the heat. So hot, Busy Mama. Today was hot here in Florida, so I can imagine. I mean, girl, I was in my bathroom sweating. My makeup's, you know, melting off my face. I was under the impression that it was only for today, or today was the last day, but I don't know. Okay, the house is under contract, Gina says. Okay, under contract 6 days ago, 544.9. Wow. There's some really cute, nice little houses in there. Well, and you know, it's going to bring the property value up of the houses in Victoria Place with that new phase next to it. So their property value might have went up a little bit. I mean, without running comparables, I wouldn't know. But Stephanie says, no, I'd be damned if I let KP and the Bower Sox tell me what to do. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers deserves to be found. Sorry for the language. No, it's all right, Stephanie. I know. I try to curb it a bit, but I mean, there's times where I just let that F-bomb fly because I'm like, this is ridiculous, you know. possibly Tuesday. That's what I was thinking too. Busy mama. I want Seth to relax this weekend. I hope he puts his feet up and has a cold drink and, you know, relaxes and, you know, reflects on the week. And I'm just glad people did show up for him. And you know what? The people that didn't show up and that were scared, I do feel bad. Oh, they said to Kate or to C and K. I think maybe Chris and Katie with the school across the street. Okay. They said that too, Narita. GA64 says his critic saying you can't pass out flyers. He said he has nothing to do with it. He denied the whole thing, like not denied, you know, access or handing out flyers or anything, but he denied the whole thing in my opinion, from what I've heard. Oh, Deanna, dang. I know. See, I would probably fly with someone, even though, you know, you guys probably would be like, all right, get Lady Freedom a drink at least so she could not be as anxious on the plane. Yeah, because that's my thing. I get anxious on the plane, but I'd be okay if I had someone else. I wouldn't want to fly by myself. In other words, you know. Well, and I agree with that too. Mimi Ma. She says they didn't think this was going to turn into a big thing, and it's going to get even bigger. Yeah, it would have been even bigger if they would have showed the real footage on America's Most Wanted, in my opinion. You know? Oh, I think he was somewhat bothered a little bit. He had to have been. Otherwise, he would have stayed put in his office, but instead he takes off when Seth showed up this morning. Here, let me show you guys this. This is some bull right here. You know? This is a coward. Only a coward acts this way. If you're strong, if you're a strong-willed person, if you're confident in what you're doing is right, then you don't act like this, right? You act like you care. You act like you give a poo. Oh gosh. Well, that's disgusting. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got to see some of the hate stuff just on the thumbnails. That's lovely. Let's see here. Posts. Sorry, guys. I'm slower than molasses at this. All right. And, yep. 7 hours ago. 7 hours ago. Present to screen. There we go. I will put me back up here. I was smoking because I was feeling a little bit perturbed. Okay. So, let me take J64 and do I have to put this so big? Okay, no, you guys can probably see it. But it says, posted by Seth, right? 7 hours ago. I'm outside this corrupt sheriff's department in Sumner County. And as soon as I show up, Craddock and his cronies leave. What a coward. What a coward. Right? And then yesterday, they were coming by the middle window, right? Like this middle window right here. And they were trying to see if Seth had left yet. Right? Quote Seth, they kept coming to the middle window to see if I have left. Not to offer a water, not to wave and say, hey, I'm sorry you're still out there waiting. None of it. Seth Rogers 2 days ago, out here again, hashtag Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, hashtag Team Sebastian. I'm en route. Please feel free to join me at the same location as yesterday. So, you know, I mean, Seth is out there doing his thing. He's doing everything that he can. You know, he is. He's doing everything that he can. And I'm glad he's doing it. I'm glad he's doing it. And shame on whoever's going to do that, bully. Nina, excuse me, Gina says, notice Terry didn't drive by and bully Seth. Where are you, Terry? I'm glad he stayed in his own lane. Yeah, he wouldn't dare do that in front of the police station. Of course not. I'm sure Snaggletooth was lurking, Gina. Mima. Hey, Mama, good to see you. Yes, but he said we could CK with the school to see if we put up some of them up over there. Okay, I see. I know. Well, that's it too, Stephanie. That's a great point. You know, if it was their kids, if it was their grandkids, you know, yeah, they would want to absolutely spread awareness, right? They would want people to come out for them. I mean, my Dramamine. Yeah, Dramamine works really well. I used to take that like when I'd go, I went down to Arkansas before and all the hills and curves. Oh my God. I had to take Dramamine. And then I sat in the back seat and read a book. Yeah, they're making it a bigger thing. I agree. I mean, what's the big deal? You know, what's the big deal? True that, says Gino. I mean, what's the big deal? And what would it kill him to be nice? You know, I know Jen had, let's look at Jen's. Okay, this is a really long. Hold on, let me see. I haven't reviewed this at all, guys, or watched the beginning, so I came in a little bit late, but I did share it. Okay.
I'm not real sure what you're talking about. Hey, Heather. Hey, honey. That's right. Amen. Yeah, when we work together for a common cause, things can happen. But when we are against one another, it takes time and attention away from the main goal. The main goal for any creator that cares about kids should be to find Sebastian, you know. I mean, she should be. She definitely should be. But, you know, she just doesn't want to be around Seth, and that's fine. But, you know, do your own thing. Do your own thing, Katie. I mean, I would love to see her doing something, you know, as a person that cares, you know, that cares about Sebastian.
True, Mimi Ma.
Hey, honey.
Hey, darling, what's happening today? I heard in another chat they wouldn't let people pass out flyers.
Oh, at the Pigfest?
Yeah, no. Well, I'm talking about, I don't know what's going on. I thought where Seth and them was. Did something happen today?
No, not that I know of. He didn't say anything about that when we were talking on the phone.
Oh, okay. So he's just not going today, or?
He was there. Yeah, he was there. He just had to leave. He left, I think, about 11:40, saying that, you know, for me and Jeff not to even come down there. I said, well, I hate to say it, but I can't make myself go. So he said, yeah, I'm lightheaded. I'm not feeling good. I've been drinking water. I can't do it no more.
Bless his heart.
He said, I know that, you know, you posted 12 and I've been here since 7:30. And I said, well, Seth, I never know when you're going to be able to get down there. So I just do a default because, you know, he wakes up, and sometimes if he wakes up or if he doesn't sleep, you just never know. You know, you never know if he has gotten any sleep, if he's got a migraine, or, you know, we just never know. So the default was noon, and he just couldn't make it till noon.
Yeah, I told him yesterday, I'm like, try some Pedialyte, because, you know, that's what they get babies and stuff. Maybe that would even help. But that's hard standing out in that sun and that heat all day. And where the hell is Katie? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But you know, I mean, come on now. But no, I heard
I
this.
don't understand. I really don't. I would love to see. I mean, I would love to see something. I understand that she wouldn't, her and Chris wouldn't want to be, in the same, space as Seth, but do your own thing, But after a week of Sebastian being missing and, Chris saying that he was ready to move on with his life goes on. I think that they made up their mind then that they weren't going to be doing any type of, I mean, that's what it looks like because they haven't.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was in another chat and somebody sent an email, and I don't know if this was after Seth left. He may not even know about this yet, but they were saying that they were not even allowing them to pass out flyers and that they had to get permission from Seth, or not Seth, actually Seth's name wasn't mentioned, but Chris or Katie or Sheriff Craddock.
Well, that is a rumor. So, I don't know if that is a true rumor or, how things get passed around as a fact and you never know. But I've heard the same thing that, the Pig Fest is, for anybody that don't know, the Pig Fest takes place in Hendersonville at the Veterans Park from October 23rd to the 25th. And there's vendors. So the vendor booths are selling something. The
Yeah.
vendor booths are selling something. So if you're not selling anything and you're just passing out a flyer, I don't think that that is a requirement. I mean, I think that there is a requirement that you would have to set up a booth to sell
Right.
something. So that could be it. That could be it. I don't know, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they were
No,
talking about today or not. It made it sound like that they were speaking of today, but I don't know. I mean, I could
no,
be totally wrong. I
no,
don't
not
know.
today. He was able to do whatever today. I mean, the people at the bondsman, place that he was parked in front of, they were like, we can't do the music anymore. So after about 45 minutes, they asked Seth. I mean, they were really nice to Seth, allowed him to park there. They just didn't want him to play the music.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, I mean, the Pig Fest that's coming, I heard that they wouldn't allow people to pass out flyers that you wouldn't have a booth, you would just pass out flyers. But I heard that they wouldn't allow that. I don't know if that's true or not. Either way, we are able to go to the Pig Fest. Anybody's able to buy tickets and go to the Pig Fest. You're able to wear whatever you want to wear as far as the attire to say, Sebastian is missing. You can have the flyer on the back of your shirt. I mean, if you really want to go to the Pig Fest and you really want to show up and show out for Sebastian, because that is Hendersonville, all the community that is there should know that Sebastian is missing.
Absolutely. Now that runs October what?
October 23rd through the 25th.
Okay, so I may try to come that week. I assume it's on the weekend. Um, because I can either go home then or whatever. So I'm hoping since I have a heads up on that, I'll be able to come.
Yeah, I mean, we could all go. We don't have to set up a vendor booth. We don't have to get ourselves up in our panties in a wad about not being able to pass out a flyer. We can wear
Exactly.
the flyer.
Yeah, exactly. We can wear it. We don't need all that. we
Uh-uh.
can,
There's
and we can
always
still
ways around
speak.
what you want. Yeah, there's always ways around it. You don't have to. And I think that I haven't when they say he said, who is he, YouTuber? Who is he? The owner of the park, because it's a veterans park.
Yeah,
So I don't know who he would be.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
Exactly,
you can
Gina
hand out
girl.
flyers out on the road before you even
Sure.
get there. There's so many
Absolutely.
things. Yeah, yeah,
And I don't know if your fair's come yet or not. I forgot when it was there, but even Wilson County and stuff like that, it may have already come.
it
I know
did.
with Summer Wells, I'd hand her flyer out all through the parking lot, and then I went in the gates. I handed it to the officer that stands there. I handed it to the ticket booth, and then I went around. I filmed all of it. I handed it to everybody and all the workers and everything. So even no matter what state you're in, if you have a fair or anything like that, if until they shut you down, you know, go out and hand those flyers and things like that. Just think
Yeah,
outside the box, you know. But
really, yeah.
even while you're standing in line, I mean, that's what
Great
I
idea,
did,
Smiley.
and I got the opportunity at that time. I was surprised because even the guys in the parking lot that
Krista, yes.
you know, whoever does the parking, whatever they're called, the attendants, they started talking to me about the trafficking here and stuff like that. So I was surprised even they knew about that. I guess is what I'm getting at. So you
Yeah.
pick up conversation with people, and then you have the opportunity to, you know, go ahead and speak with the people about the missing child. And in this case, it's Sebastian. So any way that you can keep his name and face out there is great. But yeah, I didn't mean to. I'm gonna hop down. I didn't mean. I saw you on. I was trying to find out
Well, I'm
what was
glad that you
going
did,
on.
Smiley. Yeah, I'm glad that you did. It's, I mean, I'm going to leave it as an open panel.
Yeah,
If
I
anybody wants
just
to jump up here and talk, you're more than welcome. And I appreciate you, Smiley, for what you're doing. And
I
I think
appreciate
all of
you.
us, just working together
Mhm.
and
Hey,
for the
Diane.
common cause. Even the hate channels, they're running his face again. So I'm really trying hard to not to not get pissed off about it.
Yeah, you just gotta, you just gotta just ignore it. I mean, the best you can. It's hard sometimes, I know, but you just
Oh, I
got
do
to.
ignore it. I do ignore it. I try not to get pissed off because at the end of the day, they are making money off of this child's talking about his father. So it is what
Absolutely.
it is. It
Yep,
is what it is.
absolutely. All right, well, honey, I can't see the chat, so I didn't even know everybody that was in the chat. I just had popped in real quick, but I just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for being Sebastian's Army, and love you all. See you later, and thank you, Jen, for letting me hop up here so I can clarify some things because
Yeah,
I went
thank you.
off the rails. I'll have to clarify that.
Thanks, honey. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye. You might
Bye.
have to kick me off. All right. Bye.
Oh, okay. I'll remove you. All right, y'all. Anybody want to hop on the panel?
Oh, hold on one second, guys.
Well, you're more than welcome to.
Just one second, guys. Let's see. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Hey,
Oh, there we go.
I just got a message. I might want to come over to your channel. There
Okay,
were
good.
questions about what was going on. I have no clue. I was like, it's legit.
So tell me more about
Okay.
it because I'm getting I don't know, I'm a little confused.
Okay. It's easy. We several of my subscribers were wanting to do something
Have a good day, busy mama.
to help, and we had talked about getting a few of them to go out to Pigfest, and just it's going to be a large event. There are going to
Right.
be thousands and thousands and thousands of people there. So, can we pass out flyers? So, one of my mods called and talked to the Parks and Rec director. He said he would have to speak with the Proudfoot family. He said, which I'm fixing to go to lunch with. He
Oh,
said you would have to have their permission, the Bower Sox permission, and Sheriff Eric Craddock's permission as well. And she explained to him, I don't want to go inside the festival and set up a whole booth and all that stuff. I'm not taking spots away, but we'll be willing to pay for, just a little card table out by the entrance. And he said, we'll have to get their permission. So he was
Okay.
going to talk to them and email her back. And in the meantime, she sent Eric.
Oh, I lost you. I don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay, guys. So just to clarify, I wanted to clarify that really quick too, because I had said earlier about that. So basically, they were looking to put a card table right outside. They said they'd be happy to pay to put it at the entrance. They didn't want to take up a whole booth spot from one of the vendors. And then they were told, you know, from the Parks and Recreation director that they would have to talk with Chris and Katie, who they were about to have lunch with, right? So I just want to kind of clarify that, bring us up to speed.
Okay. She sent Eric Craddock an email asking permission to go and just set up a little table outside at the entrance. We weren't trying to cause any trouble, just wanted to pass out Sebastian's flyer and remind people he is still missing. Well, at that point, his reply was, I have nothing to do with that. You may want to check with the high school or the school property. And later that evening, because it's adjacent to where this festival's going to be at, he said. And then later that evening, I was trying to pull it up. If you'll hang on, I'll pull it up so I can read it exactly, because I don't want to get the wrong words, you know.
Right.
But there was a reply from the Parks and Rec director. And his reply, let me get into this here. Sorry. I was trying to get onto it on my phone a while ago, pull it up, but that's when I lost you. So I got to do it over here on my tablet. So this is, okay. This is his reply. And I will say, this shows his email address. I cut it off on the one I had put on my post, but on my live, I showed the whole thing where it shows from his email address. He does have her name there. Thank you. And he does have his name at the bottom, Director of Parks and Rec. But it does say at this time, we are not authorizing any outside vendors or distribution of any materials in the Pigfest event other than those who are sponsors at the event. Should you wish to set up at the school property near the event, you would need to contact the school.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. After just having lunch with the Proudfoots, telling her she had to have their permission plus the Bowersox permission. And she said, but the Bowersox are not his blood family. And he said, well, that's how it is.
Really?
And
Crazy.
yeah.
Crazy.
And so never mentioned his blood father. Never mentioned Seth. Just
they never do.
Katie, her husband, and his family.
Wow.
Yeah, it was absolutely gross.
Wow.
And then to reply with no material is to be passed out during this event.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a sponsor. Well, there, you know, and I even went into this on my live.
How much does it become a sponsor?
Let me pull it up real quick because I showed it on my live I did that day because I said, look, guys, let's even go through all their sponsorships because there at no point was any of the family, anywhere listed as a sponsor. Now, they may be on a committee. You know what I'm saying? They might be part of helping get it all organized and things. But
I would say so. Like, I'm going to go ahead and go with Lolly on that and say that's probably true when it comes to being on some sort of a committee, especially if they're having lunch with the Parks and Rec coordinator, director, whatever.
Dude Wipes is their number one top sponsor.
Gross.
And what was it you just asked me about?
I'm just wondering how we could, I mean, so we could,
Well,
if we were sponsoring.
working. Okay, let me get to that for the sponsors so I can tell you exactly where is the
You know what I mean? Like, if we
yeah,
became
no.
I will say, Gina, I'm really surprised that he's that forthcoming with that information. But some people are very straightforward. I don't know. It does make me mad too. If this is, really how they're running stuff, it's infuriating.
sponsor, then does that change the ball game there?
I have no idea, but I will say this. The gold sponsor is $5,000. There's a bronze. Yes. There's a bronze sponsorship that is $2,500.
Holy shit.
Friends of Pigfest you can do for $500. But I mean, all we were wanting to do was be outside in the parking lot area. We weren't even trying to mess up their event, not trying to cause any trouble. We had a group of people that were really wanting to be there just to pass out his flyer, Summerwell's flyer, and there's a couple of other kids around that area.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we were heard. But we have made contact with other people and they are working and said absolutely this flyer needs to be handed out during this event because it's one of the largest events their town puts on.
Oh
So what about
everybody
what
all
YouTuber
around.
is here is saying? Could we not be outside of the Pig Fest and people that are
Well, it has to be off of the grounds area because you have to remember the Parks and Rec is ran by the city of Hendersonville. So having the event, it will be on city property or city approved type of property. It may be somebody else's property, but the city will have to go through the council. They will have to work with the contract to have it signed. So the city is basically in control of this property during the Pig Fest time.
Hey, Michelle.
And all we wanted to do was stand in the,
right
parking lot right there at the entrance, just to remind people, hey, these kids are missing. Keep their flyer.
Well, and you see, this is the problem. I don't see any issue with that whatsoever. I was under the impression they were trying to get a booth, so I apologize, guys. That was a mistake on my part. But I mean, what the heck? How come they can't just pass out where they want to pass out as people are coming in? What's the issue? And then she also is saying about Summer Wells and some of the other children that are missing around there. I think that's a fantastic way to spread the word, spread awareness. Chris Proudfoot even talked about having a huge event for all of these missing kids, and now they're coming back with this information. It's all very interesting, guys. It's all very interesting in my opinion. I know what the guy's name is, Gina. Let me play this. I'll look.
Call in anything if you see it. That was it.
So
That was it.
interesting. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. All the red flags, all the different people that I just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Very sad.
it
And
is.
it was disturbing to me because they never mentioned his father. They didn't
Exactly.
say, get his permission. His father was never mentioned.
Sure didn't.
But
Well, because
yes, we
the
know.
the Pigfest is for the and from the
Mhm.
community, of Hendersonville.
Right.
Maybe that is crazy.
Well,
That is
even the
so crazy to
Bowersox do
me.
not live in
You're
Hendersonville.
right. You're right.
Nope,
But
they
they
live in
do live in
Gatlin.
Sumner County. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that.
Or sorry,
I don't know. I'm
Gallatin.
just trying to play devil's
I know.
advocate here and trying to figure out why it
It's,
is
yeah.
how they can get away with this.
Yeah. And it's just, it's very sad. But there's other ways that his flyer can be passed out. We have a person that's helping us as we speak that is getting us access to a good location so that his picture can be seen. His flyer can be seen.
Yeah, and I think there's way more ways to do it. I agree with Lolly. Don't get discouraged, because there's ways that we can definitely still spread awareness and stand together. We all want Sebastian to be found. But this is Mr. Gilly. So, Parks and Rec for Hendersonville, Tennessee. Hendersonville, Tennessee. I don't know why I tried to say Gatlinburg before. No, it's Gallatin is where the Bower Sox reside. But yeah, this is the note. Dear Mr. Gilly, I hope you are doing well. I'm writing to ask if my friends and I may allow. Excuse me, let me take this off, guys. There's an echo and it's really bugging me. Okay. So it says, Dear Mr. Gilly, I hope you are doing well. I am writing to ask if my friends and I may be allowed to set up a small tent outside the entrance of Pigfest in Hendersonville to hand out flyers and share information about missing child Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, who has now been missing for 18 months. I want to be clear that I am not aligned with Team Proudfoot or Team Rogers. My only focus is Team Sebastian, ensuring his name stays present in the community and that awareness continues until he's found. Very well written, in my opinion. Our goal is simply to keep his story visible and to engage the public in a respectful and positive way. If there are any guidelines, requirements, or permissions needed to make this possible, please let me know and I will be glad to follow them. Again, very well written, very to the point, short and sweet. Also, saying we're just about Sebastian, we're not there to cause any trouble. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration. Sincerely, our friend Blue Eyes that was in the chat the other day. Okay? So I think that was very well written. That's to Mr. Gilly. Gilley, Hendersonville Parks and Recreation. This is what I think, Tina. If this is all to be true, again, look, it's alleged, okay, all in our opinion, right? I'm not trying to show hate to Mr. Gilly. I just want to find out what the big deal is. And it's not discouraging. It just makes me want to, expose what's going on a little bit more, especially that they don't want him, to know about this. Hey, Lisa B. Always good to see you. Oak Ridge Boys Incorporated, 242 West Main Street, number 256, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075. You could reach them at 615-824-4924. info@oakridgeboys.com. Thank you. Okay, the Oak Ridge Boys will be on the stage. I'm like, why does Oak Ridge Boys sound so familiar with to me? Thank you, Lisa. I'm like, why do I know that? I shouldn't know that. Gina says my husband is friends with him on Facebook. Lord help us all. Gina, well, maybe you could reach out. I mean, look, here's the thing, guys. I just don't see what the big whip is about it. What's the deal? City property, CC says. It's city property. So, I mean, come on. What's the big deal? Shadow, that's a good question. I need to check up on an update on Jaden. I did do an update really quick though. You just reminded me of Claire Bell's mother in Canada. All they did was charge her with abandonment of a child, and I don't know what her. There wasn't any updates that I could find. I didn't look terribly hard either, but I mean I was Googling it, checking different. News resources and things like that. They've kind of kept that one quiet. I am not sure about Jaden's autopsy or if they've added any charges, to, I mean, Felicia's now upgraded to murder charges, but, in terms of Josh Gross, because, he was also brought in on, complacency charges, right? Going along with it, etc. Thanks, Shadow, for being here. Oh, he's an alderman. Oh, Gina. Okay. See, they have to be on some sort of a committee, I'm thinking. Oh, okay. Step down as alderman to become director in 2018. Thanks, Gina. City equals public, Lisa B. Always. It sure does. It sure does. So with that comes easements that are, that we could stand on, outside of it. So really, you wouldn't even have to ask permission. It was nice of them to ask permission. In my opinion, because they may not even have had to ask necessarily for permission. I'm still kind of weighing that out. But either way, the way I look at it is like, what if we show up with flyers and t-shirt, a t-shirt, wearing a t-shirt, but then also handing out flyers to those who would take them. I mean, the parking lot, people will be coming in. There's a lot of ways to do it. He was also a teacher and a high school coach for 17 years. Sounds like a very reasonable guy. He really does. Not that every, person or whatever is, sorry guys, I'm going to add some water to my cup here. It's so hot. I have ice in a cup with a koozie around the cup because it's just, melting so quickly. But yeah, so it sounds like a reasonable, politician guy, right? And I mean, like I said, I think that Blue Eyes wrote this very nicely. I thought it was well done. For the purpose, just to pass flyers out. I think that's fantastic. So well done. Well done. Without permission, I cannot put, without permission, you cannot put them in cars in Hendersonville. Right, Valley Gal. I don't know if Terry Lynn got permission or not. I really don't. I'm not sure. She could have gotten permission from someone, because she's local. And I also know that Seth had mentioned that something was changed over to, because of people that were spreading out, propaganda in terms of flyers of, spreading propaganda, that they had put into place some laws against, flyers in general, and didn't specify between hate flyers that says, if you don't like, whoever, Hispanics or black people or whatever race. I mean, some people are after religious organizations as well. Jewish people, Catholics, whatever, what have you. But they didn't specify that. They, it's my understanding that it's any flyer. So even if it's Summer's flyer or Sebastian, it doesn't matter. They've kind of outlawed that, which is sad. They didn't put any stipulations in. I could see the hate. Yeah. I mean, if it's hate, like if people were passing out flyers that said guilty on them of Chris and Katie Proudfoot, I wouldn't be okay with that either. I don't think that's right. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. It's wrong. They're not guilty yet. They're innocent until proven guilty, even if they're in jail. I mean, it's just like the Haros, even though we know, they're not saying they're innocent. I'm just saying in the court of law, they are until they're proven guilty in the court of law. Public opinion, that's different. Let's put some more pressure on there and pay my birthday is the 25th. We're all gonna get together for my birthday if they ask. Yeah, there you go, Mama or Mima. There you go. That's what we need to do. Well, happy birthday, early birthday. Lisa B always says, I'm spreading the contact information as fast as I can. RE Oak Ridge Boys, since they are playing on Friday at the Pigfest. Cool, very, very nice. Thank you so much, Lisa B always. We just got to get together. Ann was cracking me up. I'm glad you feel better today, Ann. I heard you on Jen's live. I heard you say I have a great idea. What we do is we slip Sebastian's flyer in under Summer's flyer, right? And then we got both of them. That was great, Miss Ann. I'm glad. We do have to think outside the box, guys. And it's sad that we have to sneak information out like that. Kelly Holcomb, good to see you in the bushes today, but I'm here listening. Thank you for being here, Kelly. Mods in chat. Hey, Town Chat Cafe. I just came out to say hi, and I love your title, Freaky Friday. I should have spelled it like that. I misspelled Freaky Friday. Anyways, I just finished eating now, and it's time to take a nap. Oh, life on Manjaro is rough. Oh, I hope you feel better, Town Chat. Yeah, I heard Manjaro can be very taxing. Goodness sakes. Okay, see you tonight. I will be on tonight. Yes, tomorrow's going to be day off, Saturday, but I will post a video. I have a video that I've been wanting to put up. I've lived here for 12 years and never been to Pigfest. Oh, wow. Gina, I know. I was just wondering if it was just like a big community event that they put on or, what it is. So, hey, Mark Klein, good to see you. I have an airplane with Sebastian's flyer. Yeah, I have, yes, have an airplane with Sebastian's flyer, fly over it. I think that's a fantastic idea, Mark. My flyer was more obscene that I wanted to have the airplane carry for me, but that would be very nice. Thank you for being here. Yes, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, I'm just kind of taking it all in and seeing what we can do to kind of find a solution to it, because it does warm my heart that so many people are really trying to just spread awareness about Sebastian, Summer, all the kids.
Right.
And so, we're not going to give up. We're just not going to be able to have that easy access. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
That would, we have a festival here where I live, and it's a countywide festival type thing. It's a 5-day event, and I'll go stand out at the entrance. I just give them a call every year and say, hey, I'm going to pass out some flyers on this day and this day and this day. Tell them what days I will for sure be there. And I always pick the highest days because I used to help put on that event, so I know what their big days are. And so I would go those days, stand out in the parking lot right there at the entrance, pass out flyers of Sebastian and Little Summer, and never ever has it ever been looked bad upon. I used to do events. Someone called me and said, hey, we have a family in need. We want to pass out a flyer for an event we're doing to help raise this family some money. I would find them a spot and wouldn't even charge them, and it would be inside. We would make announcements for them. Those are things you do to help.
Exactly.
But they don't want anything to do with Sebastian. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah.
And I understand if they're worried that it's going to turn into some big ordeal. No. We just want to pass out flyers. End of story. Let people know he is still missing.
Yeah, Jay Wood, there are more photos that the FBI has put on their flyer, their updated flyer now. This is an old one. It's just one that I had that I could use real quick to just show people that I was talking about Sebastian. But yeah, they do have a new flyer. I just need to download it so I can use it on my backdrop.
On Eric Craddock's email that he sent, please make sure to use the TBI flyer anytime you pass out flyers for Sebastian. And he put the link there, and it's the one with him as a very young kid. It's not the updated version that FBI has put out with him looking like a teenage boy. It's him looking as if he was probably maybe 9 or 10. And it's like, why would you want to pass out a flyer with a young kid on it and we're looking for a 16-year-old young man?
Right.
But that was his stipulation if we passed out flyers.
Right. Yeah, those signs that Seth has is absolutely, those banners are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love
exactly.
It.
Yes. So anyways, well, I'm going to...
I don't, Jay Wood is asking, was he taking psychotropic drugs? There were 4 medications that he was on. I don't know what I don't know if he was on those medications before he left, or was taken away when he went missing. But, we've got to remember that this isn't just an autistic kid. We have a child that is missing that has a very rare disorder. Brain disorder called 6q27 chromosomal deletion. And I got it written down somewhere. There were 4 that he was taking. I've got them written down somewhere. I just have to go through all my notes to find out, or just ask Seth to remind me again, the 4 that he was taking. Yeah.
He's in imminent danger at this point.
Right. Yeah. And who was his doctor? Right.
Huh?
Yeah. She's asking who was his doctor, about the medications and things that, because it does make you wonder. I mean, for me, I don't know if that's where Jay Wood is going with it, but it does make me wonder if there's some type of secrecy with the HIPAA, if there's something that we're just missing here,
I think now I have a subscriber over on my channel that she has 3 criminal law degrees, and she's been asking me, Seth needs to find out about his medication and have that looked into, because is someone else filling it at this time? Because that's important. That's huge. That's crucial. He has to have certain types of medications. And if there's no sign of that happening, it can even encourage FBI even more to come in. She's trying to push to have someone above the state of Tennessee come in. And there are...
Okay, guys, I just wanted to pop on here really quick. Yeah, Michelle says if they get a warrant for insurance charges, is an easy way to see if new prescriptions were filled or not. Yeah, because I think that's important too. I think I know there was some talk about Sebastian taking risperidone. I think that's the way that you say it. And of course, we heard all that about the HIPAA crap. The only people that are bound to HIPAA are medical professionals, so like even when I was in school for CNA years and years and years ago, when I was in my early 20s, we learned about HIPAA, right? And how we're bound to that. If I say I was working at a nursing home, I would be bound to the stipulations of HIPAA in order to best take care of the patients, right? Because you do no harm. So, and absolutely, Lisa B. always, parents can release any medical information and not break HIPAA, in my opinion. Yeah, because they're not held to HIPAA. You know, parents are not held to HIPAA. But if the parents divulge, you know, medical information to, say, a nurse or something like that, yeah, then the nurse is to keep that private and confidential and, you know, be professional in what she's doing. So, yeah, there was a big misconception about that. And most people don't even know about it unless you're in the medical field, because but Chris Proudfoot was using it as an excuse. See, and that's where everybody kind of, you know, got confused. Gina says LE probably didn't even count his pills, in my opinion. I think that is so important to know if any medication was missing, right? Because then that could have been indicative of somebody giving him too much of said medication, right? Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you think of how powerful some ADHD medications are, right? J64 says exactly. Hey, perfectly imperfect boy mom, good to see you. Or just check if prescriptions have been filled or transferred to another pharmacy. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Uh, those are the things that need to be considered right off the bat, you know, and I understand that maybe Sheriff Craddock isn't used to dealing with higher profile cases, but at the end of the day, he really should never have pigeonholed this case, in my opinion, because that's what he did. He stifled the case, in my opinion, because he's not equipped to take care of it, but his ego is not allowing for him to see that, you know, that he's just ill-equipped, and he has been from the beginning. Though that's some day one shit right there. Sorry. Michelle says you can look at audit of her insurance for any charges and who they were. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea to audit that information. Oh, also would show charges if in a facility as well. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they've looked into the insurance, because I mean that would be one way that they would be paying for him to be at a school or a medical facility. I agree. Lisa B always says I was in the medical field for over 15 years. And you know, that's so funny you say that, because there's a lot of people out there that were really, really like, Chris Proudfoot, you are using that as an excuse, you know? And the nurses, medical people in the medical field would know that, right? But not everybody would. Freaking Chris Proudfoot. Scranton Strangler, hey there, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Adam Forever 21, nice to see you. Adam Forever 21 says exactly, Lisa B always. Hey Brenda Calvert, I think this medication was looked into in the beginning, if I remember right. It was talked about anyway. Yeah, Brenda, so what I saw Craddock make a big mistake on in the beginning, which I didn't fault him for, because not everybody understands autism. But he said that Sebastian is on medication for his autism, that if he doesn't take it, it's not going to be a good outcome. But really, there are no medications for autism. So it's all dealt with therapies. So right off the bat, I knew he had no idea what he was dealing with, searching for an autistic child. And then I also, you know, talked a lot about the medications and how Katie, that was one of the first lies that she told everybody, that Sebastian had medications that he absolutely needed. And, you know, that was spread all over the news. I mean, people were like, he needs his medication. And I'm like, medication for what though? Right? Medication for what? is he's got autism, so he obviously would have no medications for that. So there'd have to be a comorbidity that exists, like ADHD. And then that's when Katie came out and said about the ADHD, and I said, oh, okay, well then maybe he takes medication for that. But then we also found out that Sebastian has trouble sleeping. So there was another medication. And she did say, in Katie's defense, she did tell Smiley, look, you know, the medication that Sebastian takes, he doesn't necessarily need it, but it's not good for you to just abruptly stop taking the medication. Also, with his autism, he is used to having, you know, a certain regimen every day, and that would be a major difference for him, which could cause a lot of stress for him. And that was never clearly stated, in my opinion, at the beginning. Thank you, Brenda, though. That's a really good comment. Anne says, I've never been in the medical field, but I do know a lot about medicines from learning. Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of get to know a lot of them, too, if we hear them a lot. Like, you know, a really popular one, a medication for ADHD, it used to be Ritalin, but now it's Adderall. And so, you know, those were the two big ones that I thought of first. But again, yeah, I'm not a medical doctor at all. I mean, I took CNA certification. So I like know CPR and that sort of thing. I could take your blood pressure. So, and my teacher was really, really good. She made us learn both ways, with the machine and then without one, because she said you never know when the power will be out and you'll have to take people's vital signs and know how to do that. You know, we had to have a real watch and everything. She was fantastic. Michelle Pacebrook says, me too, since I was 17, started off in on medical field, and now I'm 53. Yeah, and I mean, so people were seeing right through that. You know, everybody was like, what in the world? You know, many medications need to be weaned off, in my opinion. Yeah, Lisa B, always, because, you know, your body's used to taking them. And then again, too, if there were medications, say, for anxiety, those, and sometimes antidepressants too, they'll take a little while to kind of start working. And so to abruptly stop them, it can cause a lot of issues, side effects, and then some that are really scary, like, you know, suicidal ideations or that sort of thing. And I mispronounced it on purpose, guys, because they will ding me for that word. Michelle says, in my opinion, he was probably anxiety and sleep meds for sure. Yeah, I was definitely thinking about the anxiety portion of it too. And then with the chromosome deletion syndrome too, there's other things that come with that as well, you know, that are very specific to Sebastian because it is so rare, just as Jen was saying. They took Ritalin off the market. They don't give that anymore for ADHD. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And they used to give that. That was something that was very readily given to many kids, like little kids. Michelle says, very true, Lisa, or have issues from not taking it. Yeah, well, sure, because you're taking it for a reason. You know, it's been prescribed. If a doctor's prescribing it, you know, you're coming to him with some symptomology and you're struggling with that. So I want a second opinion on everything she said. Valley Gal, in my opinion, yes, I agree. I do want a second opinion again, too. Hey, Carla Argyle says the insurance company that pays for the medication would have to comply with a subpoena for records in a missing child case, right? I would think so. But see, we would need Craddock to initiate that with him having the jurisdiction. You know, that's the problem. That's why I say he's got it in his kung fu grip, you know? Brenda says, I mean, Ellie looked into his prescriptions were refilled, and maybe it was Seth that talked about it. I can't remember, but it would be good to check with insurance company to see if any have been filled. Yep, or refilled. Yeah, I agree. I do remember Seth touching on that before, and then I mean, I would think that would be the first thing that they would look at, and counting the medications that are in the home, seeing if it aligns with, how many he was taking and how many were left, right? Just some simple math. I mean, they give you 30 pills, and, we're at the end of the month there, arguably, because we were in a leap year, the 29th, right? February 29th. Usually it's only 28 days in February, but um, I did medical and industrial paint making for a paint company for 16 years. So, yep, jack of all trades, and medicine and chemical knowledge from that pays off for me even now. Yeah, it's always good to have the knowledge. Like, that's how I feel too, because yeah, I would feel more comfortable in a medical setting just with the little bit of training that I've had. And I've been a caregiver too. I took care of my mom when she had cancer, so that was part of the reason why I did nursing, even though that wasn't my first pick. Gina says anyone who would need anxiety. Oh yeah, anyone would need anxiety medicine to live with CP, in my opinion. Yeah, no kidding. Gina, that's funny. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. He gets my senses tingling with triggers. Just some of the things and some of the way he says things. Absolutely, that bullying. Anne says, when my son passed away, the EMT guy had counted every one of Joshua's pills to make sure they cost. Oh, the cost corresponded with the day that he passed. Okay, so I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that's just something as a precautionary and to make sure that they're pronouncing the scene correctly, right? Recording the scene correctly. Thanks, Anne, for putting that out there, because I mean, yeah, I could see that. Michelle says, much like the saying, follow the money, follow the medical charges, also might answer a few burning questions and turn them into facts about the case. I mean, every little thing should be scrutinized, and especially now going back, they should start from the beginning and just prioritize. Now, I will say, because we did have a friend of ours in the chat talking about what does Seth think that the FBI can do that Sumner County can't do, and I brought up a couple of points, like, they are a smaller police station, they're probably ill-equipped with a high-profile case, but even so, I think going back to the beginning with a fresh set of eyes is key, Michelle. I think that would help a lot. Like you said, follow the medical charges. Yeah, thank you. Really well said. Really well said. Okay, let's get back to Lolly and Jim.
Laws that can make that happen. But if this child has this, whatever this chromosome deletion thing, and it has to do with his brain, he could be in a very bad situation right now without medication. It's possible. Right. Yeah. And that's scary to think about.
It is scary.
It is scary. Very scary.
There was one, oh gosh, I almost had it. There's one medication that I remember that he was on. God, I got to go through my notes and look to find it. There was one medication that he was on that was for him to sleep, but it could have caused an adverse reaction where he would not sleep.
Right.
And I remember seeing one of Jeff's grandkids is on the same medication, and if she doesn't have it, she will not sleep at all. She will stay up all night long.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. It wasn't. I don't think so. But anyway, I mean, that is.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump down. I just wanted to make sure everything got, kind of put out there clear. I don't know what y'all were discussing. I just got a message said, "Hey, go talk to
Yeah.
them about it. Tell them what happened." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, that's what we were
So,
discussing because everybody's upset about that.
oh, I tell you,
Everybody's upset about it.
it is so sad.
Mm-hmm. It is
You
sad.
know, it's very discouraging and it's very sad. And his father's out there protesting and they peek out the windows at him. It's just wrong. They could
It
come out
is.
there and say, "Hey, you know, we're working, we're trying our best. Hang in there, Dad. We hear you.
Right.
We understand you." No, they're not doing that at all. And it's just
It's the
very
weirdest
sad.
thing. Why
It
why would
is.
why would they why would they prevent anybody from I don't know, I've never been to the Pig Fest. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I don't,
people, I don't know what kind of, vibe it is, and maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But why
I
would they need to get Chris and Katie and the Bowersock's permission? That is
yeah,
beyond me.
that was very. And then Craddock's as well, but yet Craddock's email, he says, "I have nothing to do with the event. And if you do get permission, please make sure to use this flyer put out by the TBI." Well, it's still the one where he's young. We would want the one the FBI has done updated with, his older pictures.
Yeah.
But it's like, why did they make it so hard?
Why is it so difficult?
I know.
And
I,
I'm sure that the school wouldn't. They would. I'm sure that the school would actually give permission because
yes.
they actually really do care about Sebastian. And I
Oh,
saw,
they do.
I
They
saw one
do.
picture.
Yes.
I
And
was,
we've
I
made
saw,
contact with the school as well. So
okay.
there's several that are working to try to get us in a good position so everyone can see. So,
Yeah. I got a
and when we
message.
get that locked down, I will share it with everybody. I promise.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
message this morning stating that one of the teachers was on Mr. E's
Oh, yeah.
TikTok. One of the teachers is saying, that she believes that there was either an accident or that they sent him away somewhere. And that's
Yeah.
where we're at, that's where we're at. We're just, everybody
Yes,
is
exactly.
toggling
Yeah.
this fence, this fence
Too
of,
many questions. Too many
yeah,
questions.
way too many, way too many. And
Wait.
it's sad that we've got Sumner County has a sheriff that is mute.
Yeah. Anyways, well, I'm going to jump off of here and let you get on with your business. I just wanted to kind of come on and just.
Okay. So, obviously, Wally wanted to go up there and kind of, let people know what they had found out about Pigfest from the emails and stuff like that. So what I did here is I'm pulling up Pigfest. Right, so let's just go here first. And let me make sure. Okay. So there's a little countdown, ticker, right? We'll go up. So dates are October 23rd through October 25th, 2025 Pigfest. Biggest sponsor is Dude Wipes, right? And then it's 140 Scotch Street, Veterans Park, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075. 3 days, more great causes, all in Hendersonville, Tennessee. So, I mean, it is about causes, as Hey Jude said. It's about causes, and there you have it, folks. Thursday, there is a steak dinner, a silent auction, trivia, and parking pallet. I have no idea what the fuck a parking pallet is. I have no idea. But I want to remove this. Stop that. and show you about the steak dinner. Is it like a pork steak? Gross. Okay, I don't know. I'm assuming it's a beef dinner steak. They have like pig races where we're eating pork. It's weird. Okay, whatever. Nevertheless, this is Pigfest. Thursday, October 23rd, Pigfest steak dinner auction by Hendersonville Parks and Recreation. Join the Pigfest team and community at Veterans Park for a steak fillet. Okay, it's a fillet dinner. That sounds better than like a pork steak. I don't know. Okay, 60. My opinion. I'm not faulting anybody that eats that. $65 reserves your spot for the event, right? So it's $71.21. And if I click on this, I'm assuming I can buy me a ticket. $65 reserves your spot, but this is with taxes and probably maybe like parking added into there, something like that. All right, Veterans Park, yeah. Get directions, highlights. Okay, it's a 5-hour event. Refund up to 7 days before the event. It's an in-person event. About this event, join the 2025 Pigfest team at Veterans Park Thursday, October 23rd for a night of fellowship, steaks, and giveaways from our sponsors. Paint your spot for the year in the parking lot palette thanks to ServPro Sumner County. Oh, okay, so they're like painting the parking lot spots, right? And maybe they're auctioning off parking spots. All of the money raised will be donated to Live Love Nashville, Grace's Place, Christmas for Kids, and Mary's Magical Place, which is Mary's Magical Place. We've heard about this in the case before, guys. And that is basically a park that's designed for children who have special needs. So all of these are sponsors. The gates at 5 p.m. will open. Dinner to follow at 5:30. All tickets include admission to Jeff Jarrett's All-Star Super Slam. So, parking palette info, rules of the event. The parking spots can be repainted or touched up at any time within 1 year of the event. Parking spot assigned will be reserved for special parking privileges. Painters will need to leave an approximately 4-inch unpainted border between the parking spaces and paint in the parking lot. All artwork is to be subject to approval by the Parks Department. Supplies provided by ServPro, Sumner County. Unapproved paints, no oils, no reflectives, no spray paint, no fluorescent paint, no paint sprayers, and no clear coat. Okay, I sounded like bubblegum shrimp right there. All right, the parking palette. So apparently you are going to go out and paint these parking spots whatever you'd like, as long as it's not anything obscene or inappropriate. Sounds like a fun event. I like steak and I like fillets. That's my favorite one. So sounds like a fun event. $65 to reserve. Not too shabby because you get all of this included. Sounds like a fun night for a good cause. For a couple of good causes. Here are some of the sponsors for this event. Dude Wipes, benefiting, we already went over those, but those are the logos, right? Grace's Place is apparently a women's shelter, guys. Exterior Solutions Group, we have One Stop Realty and Auction. We have Candy Potter, real estate consultant for life. There's 2 realtors. I know Wally Gilliam is a realtor too, because I saw him on Eric Craddock's page. He's friends with Eric Craddock, and he's on Eric Craddock's Facebook page. October 23rd, 2024, Veterans Park, 5 p.m. There's affiliations, guys. A lot of affiliations. Okay, I'm not saying this looks like a great event. I'd probably be a part of it, seeing as there's tons of realtors. Hops Entertainment. More events from this organizer. Hendersonville Hometown Jam presents Pigfest kickoff concert. Here's the concert you guys are talking about. Friday, October 24th at 5 p.m. Veterans Park, right? It starts at $17.85. So you got to go buy tickets for this shit too? Sorry, I saw that Wally Gilliam. Damn. Who's this? Hendersonville Hometown Jam, the Oak Ridge Boys Exile, Eric Blankenship, October 24th. Okay, so that's the band. So basically it's like $100 for the night to come together for this filet dinner and, you know, special event. But the concert is separate. Alrighty. So this is Jeff Jarrett's All-Star Super Slam Jam. That is also part of the event. So just bear with me, I'm pulling it up. Pulling it up. Here we are, Jeff Jarrett's. Okay, Jeff Jarrett's All-Star Super Slam Jam. Yep, you got it. All right, so this is only $17.85. Okay, so that must be, see, it says that if you buy tickets for that event, the steak dinner, it's included. In the beginning, it says that it's included, doesn't it? I'm confused. Yeah. It says it right under the about this event for the steak dinner, so I don't know, whatever. Just plan on spending $100, at least. Nevertheless, okay. Here we are. Jeff Jarrett's All-Star Super Slam with Pro Wrestling Entertainment. Double J, the Last Outlaw, the Hall of Famer, is coming home of Pigfest, and he's bringing Jeff Jarrett's All-Star Super Slam with him. Okay, I have no idea what the fuck that is. I'm sorry. I have no idea. Don't ask. Don't ask me. You guys talk amongst yourselves. 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Okay, so that's after the dinner. We got a lineup. 6-man Super Slam main event. NWA Women's Championship. Oh, it's like a big wrestling deal. Okay. Big wrestling deal. Interesting. Interesting. 5-way high school showdown. So there's the high school kids are involved. That's cute. View all. Concession stand brawl. What is that? Lucha Libre? What the hell is that? Spectacular? I know who Nacho Libre is. Isn't that like Jack Black? Highlights. It's 2 hours in-person event. Refund still can do 7 days before the event. Double J, the Last Outlaw, the Hall of Famer is coming back. Blah, blah, blah. We read that. All right. So it's just like a pro wrestling event. It says, oops, the page your event you're looking for was not found. Oh, okay, whatever. All right, I tried. So that's that, guys. That's like that whole first night Super Slam thing. And then we have Friday. Pigfest Friday. Sorry if this is a little boring. I'm just kind of doing this research with you guys that I'd typically probably be doing on my own. But it's interesting. So, no, I don't want that one. Oh, it's the barbecue competition. Okay. No, hold on. steak dinner. Oh, okay, it's this one then. Yeah, Friday. Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure I was popping the right one up there. Okay, so we got this one, and it says Hendersonville Hometown Jam, the Oak Ridge Boys Exile Eric Blankenship, right? October 24th. And join us Friday, October 24th at Veterans Park for our Pigfest kickoff concert presented by Dude Wipes, featuring the Oak Ridge Boys. So Friday, October 24th, right? 5 to 10. Veterans Park, same location, 5 hours-ish. Supporting Mary's Magical Palace, Live Love Nashville. Sorry, guys. Christmas. So same ones, all the same organizations. Django Mango. He talked back to me. Saturday with food trucks, vendors. Okay, so this day they have food trucks, vendors on Saturday. College football, parking pallet painting, a kids zone, live pig races, and most importantly, barbecue. Poor little piggies will be running around because they don't want to get caught. All right, so kick off Pigfest 2025 with the legendary band, the Oak Ridge Boys, take the stage. I'm familiar with them. With decades of chart-topping hits, Grammy-winning harmonies, and unforgettable energy, the Icons bring their signature sound to Hendersonville for epic night of music and memories. From Elvira, American Made, these timeless classics have been the soundtrack of generations, and headlining the Pigfest 2025 kickoff concert. Whatever your lifelong fan and discovering their magic. Okay, foot stomping. Okay, so they're, the Oak Ridge Boys. Exile, formed in 1963, looking to play small clubs in Richmond, Kentucky, but managed to top both pop and country charts during their over 55-year-long career. So another, band to come out. Kiss you all over. Eric Blankenship says about him. This is going to be $15. Let's see, VIP $100. Probably get to go hang out, get complimentary drinks. This is how you get. Oh, so maybe this is how Chris got his T-shirt though, because it says if you pay $100, you get one concert ticket, you get access to the VIP tent area with food catered, you get complimentary non-alcoholic beverages, 2 drink tickets, right? 2 soft drinks, Pigfest hat, T-shirt, limited amount. So there's only 100 VIP tickets available, right? Please note, sponsored VIP tickets are for entrance to the VIP tent only, right? So that's how you get your T-shirt. I'm sure you can buy them there too. I'm sure they sell the Pigfest T-shirts, is what I'm saying. But yeah, gates open at 5, main concerts at 6, 11, it closes. Now, open free to the public Saturday, October 25th. This would be a good option for people who don't have a lot of money to spend. Now, if you want to get to the higher ups, so you might want to consider the steak dinner. I'm just saying. But 10 a.m. the Veterans Park opens. Award ceremony, Judges Pavilion at 3:30. 5 o'clock the festival ends on Sunday. So there you have it. Yeah, because Saturday is free. There's a barbecue competition, and this is the flyer for that. Let me get rid of this. And don't remove me. Remove this one. Okay. So yes. Hendersonville, Hometown Jam presents kickoff concert. And that's just the page for that. Because you don't have to buy tickets for Saturday's event. Or Sunday. They're just doing... oh, it says sales ended. Okay, maybe they sold out of tickets for the concert. But, nevertheless, one thing I do want to point out here is that, Lolly wasn't asking if they could have a booth at the actual festival. They were asking if they could sit outside. So just to put that out there. But that's more, on the event, guys. Just so we know. Sorry, guys, I got a little behind in chat. Michelle says, in my opinion, she should be able to. It makes no sense to me. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't. That way it's proof that the child needs to be put on critical needs. Well, and that's true. That is true, Michelle. Yeah. Critical care list and help. Yeah. Looking for him due to his illness and his needs. Well, and that's what would really qualify also and fit the criteria for the tender years, because tender years really only goes up to age 12. However, if there is medical circumstances, then they will also be able to take over, the FBI that is, without jurisdiction being given over. They can take over. Did you think that the sheriff might think people will pay more attention to younger child being missing than a teenager, trying real hard to give him the benefit of the doubt? Possibly, Brenda. I mean, it's really hard to speculate on what Eric Craddock thinks because, I really thought that, in my opinion, that maybe he might extend an olive branch of some sort, but he's not. And he didn't, Valley Gal, I agree. Mimima says Jeff Jarrett. I'm going to text him now. He is a wrestler. Oh, thank you, Mimima. I was like, I don't know. Listen to me. I should have been back here at the chat looking too while I'm running my mouth. Because I'm like, I have no idea what these... Then I'm like, Oak Ridge Boys. I'm like, I know of Oak Ridge Boys in Missouri. And then I'm like, it must be them. Michelle says pork steaks are yummy, roasted in the oven, a bed of fresh green beans. Oh, okay, Michelle. I'm really weird with certain pork. Like, I don't know why. It's weird. I'm just weird. I'm just very picky and like, yeah. But I was thinking, like, is it pork steaks because it's Pigfest, yes, Jeff Jarrett is awesome. Is an awesome idea. Oh, good. Oh, sorry, guys. 1 second. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Django gets excited. Cool, Mimi Ma. Thank you so much for doing that. Grace's Palace, Gina says, is when Craddock showed up at the fundraiser lunch. Oh, Grace Palace is when... Oh, okay. Okay, Gina, thank you. That's the same wrestling like Nacho Libre. That's what I was... Perfect point, Mom. That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. If Josh was here, he'd tell you all about it. I know, Miss Ann. See, I need people to tell me about these wrestling things because I have no idea. It's a bunch of wrestler and luchador is Mexican wrestler. Ah, thank you. Oh, thank you, Mimi Ma. You guys know. See, I have no idea. Luchador is Spanish for wrestler. Oh, okay. Thanks, Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. Oh my, I'm like, what is that? But I remember Nacho Libre. So, oh, there we go. Okay, I got a light on. I'm so excited to see he is from the G is coming. I'm hoping he's not part of that crew, but being a wrestler. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's just part of the event, you know, that was invited. Can you be a little more quiet? Thank you. She does she does raise money for a specific cause. Maybe you said so I missed it. Well, it's a couple of different causes. Yeah, it would. I'm guessing it's for. Well, they're right here. Hold on, let me make them a little bit. Oh, Live Love Nashville, Grace's Place, or Grace Place. Sorry, Grace Place, right? And then Christmas for Kids and Mary's Magical Playground. So four different causes. Proudfoot and Associates have no say so folks on this event. I mean, it's just so large, right? It's a large scale event. So yeah, it's hard to believe that they would have that much. Really hard to believe, right? Really hard to believe. We want VIP. I know. I want to go to the steak dinner. What are you talking about? Mima, we want the steak dinner. We want the steak dinner. Kathy probably bought Chris a t-shirt. Probably never has. Mommy buying the t-shirts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In my opinion, Holly says, in the community should want to show Sebastian at the event. It's their community. It's so strange. I agree with that. Yeah. And what's wrong with them wanting to do something good for Sebastian? I don't see any issue with it. I really don't. Guys, that is the coffee maker. It's a Keurig. So I'm not, it sounds like somebody's taking a leak. Gina, good to see you. Or excuse me, Diane, good to see you. I think it's absolutely strange. I think it's absolutely strange. Is it Veterans Park a public place if no permission is needed to be there? Well, that's what everyone's saying, that it is a public place, and it sure seems to be that way, you know? Yeah, good point, Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. So, I mean, I don't think we should get discouraged. I think it's, you know, something that we're going to be able to do. We would be able to go there and do that and, you know, spread awareness and not even have to pay to go to the steak dinner, but I do want to go to the steak dinner. I don't believe we need permission for the foots or the socks. BS, I think Lolly was given incorrect info. Well, you know, I mean, I wonder, look, if that guy is friends with the Proud Feet, he might be stirring the pot. You know how those people are. I mean, they do like to do that, and they do like to get people talking, and, you know. So it could be a multitude of reasons, really. This is a huge event for the area. It looks like. I know, Holly. Yes, it does. It looks like a huge event. It looks like a good event. You know, that's what's kind of confusing. I'm still piecing it together, guys. I really am. I think any of us who want to go to Veterans Park wearing our Sebastian t-shirts can and should. And we can hand out flyers to anyone who would like to take one. I agree with that, Diane. Yeah, I don't think it's very discouraging because of that right there. And then also, like, the free day, walking around wearing Sebastian's t-shirt, like, people don't even need to take a flyer. They can look at the t-shirt, you know? And if they don't want to look, they don't have to look, you know? So it's, you know, win-win all the way. Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom says Veterans Park in Hendersonville, Tennessee is a public park with various recreation facilities available to the community. It's listed as a park on the Hendersonville Parks and Recreation website. Thank you, Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. Yeah, I mean, I think it really just seems like a big kind of a sports complex, you know? Yeah, so public, definitely public. Yeah, I hope he's not rubbing elbows with LE. I know. Yeah. Brenda says it's a fundraiser. I could see that them not wanting to have their minds competition. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes, yes. Sounds like rich people just throw money at problems and don't want any problems around besides their agenda. Yeah, really. I mean that seems spot on. I mean, and there's $100 dinner here if you want to go to the concert. I'm guessing they're separate, but either way, that's and I don't know if all of the proceeds go to these organizations. I mean, I guess it's not too shabby though, because $100 split between 4, that's 25 a piece. I mean, that's not even paying for the dinner really. So, that's a good idea. Carla says wear necklace strings of green lights too. Yeah, that is such a sweet idea. I mean, anything we can do to raise awareness, but I think it's if they're trying to stifle it, I don't see how they could. I really don't. And maybe they were trying to discourage people away from doing it too. So that's possible. It's very possible. Sorry guys, I don't like it when I'm like this big on the screen. Holy cow. There we go, but I want that one. There we go. So, but I mean, this is what we're seeing. Green hair, yeah, we can spray paint hair, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And just the more people that show up, I think letting them know, excuse me guys, sorry, I've been talking like crazy lately. Just letting them know that we're not going to stop, and then we're not going to be discouraged, because I don't think it's fair. Yeah, Carla, Mima is so great. Carla says, Mima, we love your spirit. That's so great. We aren't going to cause trouble. We just want to enjoy the day. Exactly. Well, and I think it is, just part of it that not everybody does get into the true crime stuff, and not everybody is on YouTube. And so maybe people don't know that Sebastian's missing. Maybe that's why they don't want us to spread awareness. I mean, all I know for sure is that it doesn't surprise me if this is true, and that they're combating some of this help, because they've done that from the beginning. They have threatened searchers. They have told people that the flyers are getting taken down. They themselves, in my opinion, have taken flyers down. I know they staged that whole thing with the barbecue lady and TikTokers and Terry Lynn, but that was all BS, And then that KC girl set that up or whatever. I think that was all a big setup, in my opinion, And I think we need to make sure that we always remember that we have more power than we think we do, and especially when it comes to some of these, like Chris thought that he could break the internet. Like, he actually thought in his delusional little brain that he could break the internet. So if he thinks that he can stop or stifle people from handing out flyers or wearing a t-shirt, he can't. It's just like the Goblin King, if you guys ever watched that movie with Jim Henson, it's she tells him, you have no power over me, and then he goes away. It's kind of like how Chris Broadfoot works, in my opinion. You have no power, bye. You're a little guy that wears size 10 sneakers, in my opinion. Mima, I am so proud of Seth for going out there and doing that. It takes great courage. It takes great determination, tenacity to go out there and do that, especially when you have idiot police officers laughing in your face, or acting like you don't exist, or pretending like it's not their job to serve you as the public and protect you. And they're not doing that. They're refusing to do that, in my opinion. So all of this is just kind of like par for the course, in my opinion. It's like, Yeah, figures, you know. Oh, is that your birthday, Mimi Ma? On Saturday the 25th? Well, happy early birthday. Aw. Yeah, he does a great job. Everybody's doing a great job except for the sheriff's department. It's awful because Sebastian was part of that community, so he can be peacefully represented. Well, that's right. That is right. And he, his life matters. He's still a part of the community. If they're acting like he isn't, then they must have some information that we don't. Yeah, Gina says, all I know is Katie was in Disney World, in my opinion. Yeah, she sure was. She sure was. Not worrying about looking for Sebastian. Diane says, I love your idea of banding together with other podcasters and we can come out and represent for Sebastian. Yeah, Diane, I think it's a good idea. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And honestly, I think it would be great. There's days that, we can plan for it. There's enough days in between. I agree, Brenda. Well, he just acts like he's so big, and it's like, you're not. You're really not. You're a jerk. And people are afraid of retaliation because, these stinky socks, they'll go along and, slash people's tires, just because somebody said something bad about little Chrissy poo poo poo. No, we can't really party at Pigfest, unfortunately. How's that? But how does that bunch sleep at night? I have no idea, Mimi Ma. I don't know. I don't know how they can sleep. It's terrible. Yeah. Well, we do need to know, or they do need to know that we're going to be there. And again, I really appreciate everybody sharing this information. The more that we share out the responses that we get, I think the better, because at least we can feel like writing these letters and trying to find out more information is really important, in my opinion. Sorry. There was an elephant. An elephant came through here. So, with that being said, guys, just keep our heads up, chin up, right? Chin up, onward, upward. We're gonna keep fighting for Sebastian. We need to. He deserves it. And, we're not gonna stop, even though they want us to. So just anything we can do. Hey, little Miss Sharon, good to see you. Anything we can do to raise awareness, to bring the darkness to light, to advocate for Sebastian, to support Seth when he does things like this. Again, I've said it before, I'd say it again. It's for Sebastian. If Chris and Katie were out there supporting Sebastian or the efforts to find him, I would be right there with them as well. It has nothing to do with whether I like Chris or Katie or Seth or anyone. What it has to do with is who's advocating and being Sebastian's voice when he cannot. He's missing. He's somewhere out there. We know that. We know that much. I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you so very much. And I will see you all tonight on Late Night Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives. Thank you, little Miss Sharon, for hitting the like buttons. Number 64. Thank you, guys. And I always appreciate you guys so very, very much. So you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Get some dinner, and then later on, get some snacks and drinks. And I will see you. Thank you.